All right, what's going on out there, traders? Another one here from the Darkside team, and on this particular video, I want to talk about something that we definitely talk about a lot on our private team, but something that I think everybody needs to understand when we're putting out these videos and when we're saying this doesn't work or that doesn't work. And what I'm trying to explain to you guys here is the fact that rules in trading, rules will get you killed. Rules are the enemy for anybody that's trying to make money in trading. And the reason I say that is because you're not the only person that's following those rules. And certainly the algorithm or the composite operator or your broker, whoever you think it is that's responsible for moving the market, they know what rules you follow. And I mean the easiest way to point that out is, again, not to take my word from it, just to look left, just to look on your chart anywhere, and you can see how rules were set and then broken countless times over and over and over. And that's where your losses come in. Because the reality of it is no strategy, if you follow the exact rules to any strategy, you're never going to get any consistent results because the market is designed to show you exactly what you need to see. In other words, for all your rules and criteria to be met. That's what it's designed to do, for them to be met so that they can put you into the market and then decide your fate on whether you're going to live or you're going to die by that rule. And again, we talk about, again, in a simple example, an order block. If price hits and your rules are to show that you need to see a break in structure first in order for you to enter the market right here. And then if you do enter the market, your rules say that you should put your stop above the high. Don't you understand that you're not actually trading at that point? The market's trading you. Because they're not accidentally exposing themselves in their next move to the downside. That's not what's happening at all. They're intentionally exposing themselves to what you think is a new move to the downside. Okay, and they know where you're going to put your money in. So from there, they get to make the decision on your future because you followed the rules. They get to decide whether they want to take you out of the market like that, or they decide whether you're going to win this time and keep going. Okay, now the reason why you win sometimes is so that every time the market hits this area, you do the same thing. You enter, you put your stop right here. So therefore, they can control you. Unfortunately, you're like a puppet. You are a puppet to the market when you follow rules, because all they have to do is say, "Hey, I need to make some money today." Okay, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and hit a 4-hour order block, and I'm going to go ahead and break structure. Then I'm just going to wait around here for a while, and I'm going to wait for everybody to get involved, and then I'm going to come take their money. And I know that they're going to put their money right above this high right here. So I know that all I need to do is break structure, show the zone, show what looks like some downside on low time frame. Then I'm going to come take their money. They literally trade you. They trade you. They make the decision on whether you're going to survive or die. They make that decision because you're following rules. Okay? One thing I tell my guys all the time: stay away from rules. Stay away from rules. If you guys look, and just looking at this simple chart right here, you can literally see where rules would have got you screwed right here. You can see a 4-hour order block or imbalance. Okay, let's just back up the chart a little bit. You can see everything how it would have played out. There's your imbalance or order block. If we bring it down a little bit. Either way, you see what I'm getting at. You've got consolidation right before the strike of the zone, equal highs that they like to see. There's the liquidity. There's the strike into the zone. If you're a candlestick trader, there's your 4-hour order block or your 4-hour bearish engulfing, rather. So there's your candle, everything you need to see, and then you know the result. They come get you. And then what's price do? It goes your way anyway, which is the most frustrating thing. And this is live price action right now. The most frustrating thing. And you want to know why they did this thing right here? Because they know that you're following rules. They know that you waited for the low time breaker structure. Maybe you waited for the bearish engulfing candle. It doesn't matter. But they know that you put your stops right here. They come and take your money, and then they move on. And it's not your fault. But that's what happens when you follow rules. You're going with everybody else. You're being a sheep. Don't be a sheep. Okay? Be a predator. Don't do that. We don't follow any rules on our side. That's why when you see us get into a trade, you'll see us take a trade maybe like, I don't know, we trade rockets. We never are in these little shaky moves. Very rarely are we ever. And if we are, we're out quick. But, we would trade something like maybe this here. this big push to the upside. That would be a move. For an example of a move would be like this big push to the upside, or this sell off, this big sell off right here to the downside. But see, the thing is, those, and I hope you're back testing our trades that we post on Telegram. I mean, we don't post them for fun. I mean, that's for you to back test. But if you do back test, very rarely will you see, for example, on a trade like this, you'll never see this. You'll never be able to back test and see me get a 1 minute break of structure and a perfect imbalance fill like this. Okay, which is a unicorn. That's what I call them. Very rare to see, but they do happen. Okay, but very rarely will you see any of our trades look like this within here. Most of the time, our trades they just go like this. You'll see price action, for example. Price will come up into our wherever we're favoring our zone, and then there won't be, maybe there'll be the break of structure, right? But there'll never be a retest or anything. There'll never be what people want to see for their rules to be met to get into the market, because they don't want you in the market. Those moves aren't for you. Those aren't for you. That's real money moving the market. And that's where you see our Darkside rockets. This would be a rocket that we would call. Rocket to the downside, rocket to the upside. That's what we call them. And there's no rules to entering the market like that. And there's not supposed to be, because we're not subjecting ourselves to rules. We're not giving them the opportunity to control our future and our destiny in the position that we take. That's not trading to me. I've traded rules, obviously. I've traded strategy. I used to have a list of notes written right next to my computer about what I need to see to enter. And then I just started thinking to myself, man, you think, I have this little secret set of notes next to my computer on what I need to see. Like I'm the only one in the billion people on the planet that are trading that are waiting for those same secret confluences. Come on, man. That's being naive. That's being naive. And this is the most complex algorithm, most complex market on the entire planet. You really think that you're going to be able to have a set of rules that's going to outsmart it? Come on, man. You can't think like that. Do you really think you're going to have a strategy that's going to outsmart it? You can't. You can't. It doesn't matter if the girl on Instagram tells you if you follow her strategy for 1 week, you're going to become a millionaire. Do you really think that that's how this stuff works? I mean, come on, man. And it's anybody on it, any of that stuff. If they're selling, half the time, they're selling you a repackaged smart money course that they stole from ICT, who's a great trader. Don't get me wrong. But ICT listen, he shows you how he trades and his rules and that, but you don't really know how he does things, because you don't know how he thinks. You don't understand. He doesn't have a set of rules that he follows. If you have rules like that, then you could just create a bot or a EA or one of those things that trade for you, and boom, you would outsmart the market and that. And you see people selling those, but do you really think that they're making money with them? I mean, come on, you think they've been able to outsmart the most complex algorithm in the world? No way. Absolutely not. And you want to know why those bots get screwed all the time? Because they program them to follow rules. They program them to follow rules, to enter markets at certain times when certain things happen, and they know that they're going to do that, and then they come and take them out and move the same way. That's why rules will get you killed, guys. Now, my advice to you, okay, if you want to continue to trade smart money, I've made so many videos already at this damn point where I talk about just giving yourself a bigger stop loss. Because if you are going to trade smart money concepts and you're going to trade their rules, you've got to bend the rules a little bit. Okay, because I do believe you can successfully trade smart money concepts. You can successfully trade retail, trend lines, Fibonacci levels, imbalances, supply and demand. I think you can do all of that, but you've got to bend the rules and make the rules work for you. Because if you do what everybody else is doing, you're going to get the same results as everybody. And unfortunately, the results aren't good. They're not. I don't care what anybody tells you, they're not. I know, because I've been there already. So I try to tell you, hey guys, maybe think about using a bigger stop, or maybe think outside the box. I try to give you clues into what's taking place. A lot of people don't like to hear that, but listen, I encourage you to keep doing the same thing. I'm not asking you to watch my content. Before you have anything negative to say about us, why are you even watching this? If you know what you're doing, what are you looking on YouTube for? You know what you're doing. You should be out spending your money, not leaving negative comments about people like us that are choosing to look much deeper into a complex market. What I can say is I'm definitely not watching anybody's videos. That's for sure. I damn sure ain't watching anybody, and I'm not going to go out and criticize somebody who I think is trading a certain way and thinks that it's working for them. That's great, because that's what it's all about, making the market work for you. But following rules that everybody else does, that's not going to get you anywhere. It won't. And well, I mean, you got to understand right now, if we look at this, if you're a smart money concept and balance trader, here's a 4 hour imbalance or order block. Do you think that you're the only person that's waiting for this zone to get hit right now? And this is live price action. Do you think that the world doesn't know you're waiting for a low time frame break of structure to the upside to potentially get long? Do you, I mean, really? And then if you're a structural trader, right, and price does, let's say price does get long out of here, like we said, price comes up in here. Do you think that structural traders aren't seeing lower highs, lower lows, lower high? Do you think that they're not looking to sell this area right here? And if they do sell the area, they're going to put their stop right above here. You think that people don't know that? Of course they do. So how do you counter that? You got to counter that by not following any rules. Okay? What we do, to give you an idea, we trade raw price action. Okay? In other words, the anatomy and overall idea of each one of these candles that moves through the market. That's the only way you're going to be able to get a hold of what's taking place. Okay? And you can do that on any time frame you want. But until you understand that this market, okay, listen very carefully, the only thing this market is the creation, all right, and collection of liquidity. That's all it is. That's all the market does. It creates and collects liquidity all day long. So until you understand that, and then you start to apply those ideas into each one of these candles, regardless of the time frame, till you start to realize that it's the creation, okay, and the collection of liquidity, okay, the creation, okay, and collection of liquidity. Until you understand those things, you're never going to grasp the idea. If you're chasing a concept or the next best thing, you're never going to get it, because those concepts are designed to play out every once in a while, or you would never use them again. If this order block right here, if this trade right here did what it did this time, if it spiked out every single time like this, you know what would happen? The composite operator or the algorithm, whoever you believe it is, they would lose their edge in the market, because now you wouldn't trade these anymore. You'd say, hell no, I'm not trading that. It never works. It always takes me out. So therefore, they couldn't print money when they wanted to. Right now, they can print money so easily because everybody trades smart money. All they got to do is say, hey, listen, I need to make some money today. I got a good idea. How about I break structure right here? Okay, I'll break structure so everybody can see it. Maybe on the 4-hour time frame, because I know everybody watches that. So I'll break structure right here, and then I'm going to dance around this zone for a while. Maybe I'm going to throw in a couple bearish engulfings. Maybe I'll break low time frame structure. Okay, perfect. That's enough money for the day. I think I'm good. Let me go collect my money. Collect the money. Boom. Here's your stop loss sitting right here, and then the market moves where it wants to. Up, down, it doesn't matter. After that, the cycle's complete. The creation and the collection of the liquidity is complete. And that's just not smart money, guys. That's the same thing with trend lines or anything. If you look on a chart, we could immediately find a trend line, and we'll look together right now. You can see there's a trend line here, okay, because they're everywhere. There's a trend line right here. There's one right there where everything went well for a while. If you're a trend line trader, you were able to see the trend line form, okay? Maybe you wouldn't know then, but at this point, you could see the trend line develop. So maybe you would buy there, and you would catch this awesome buy. Great buy, awesome. So you know what happens? When the trend line comes into play again, you know what you're going to do? You're going to buy again because it worked right here. And look at what happens. It gives you what you want to see, okay? 4-hour time frame. It gives you what you want to see, and then it rips your head off. Okay, that's one trend line just looking in 1 second, and we could easily see how they manipulate that. How it works sometimes. We'll find another trend line since we're not only picking on order blocks all the time. All right, here's another trend line right here. Okay, believe it or not, it's not perfect, but people will force the trend line there. So they'll see the trend line, and again, it doesn't develop. You won't see it yet, but as it comes down now and you draw your lines out, you'll learn to find this area in the trend line, and you'll sell it because you've got bearish engulfings, and you're going to catch a phenomenal, awesome sell to the downside, which means that when price comes back up into this trend line, we'll just extend it a little bit more. And you can see the acknowledgement right here. You can see where price acknowledges the trend line. You're going to sell it again, and then it's going to rip your head off, and it didn't work. And it's going right for where your stop was. Remember your stop? Because you sold this trend line right here. This is exactly where you sold off that trend line. You're going to put your stop right here as a trend line trader. Unfortunately, you'll never break even because you got to make too much money. But we'll put your stop there, and look where price comes. Price comes literally right above into your stop to come get you. Okay, and if you think it's all right, trend lines, they don't work. Sure, they don't work. Sometimes they do. Look at this situation here. Descending price action, right? Break of structure to the upside. Okay, so now it's smart money's turn. Smart money concepts, you get the breaker structure. There's your little 4 hour order blocker imbalance, right? What happens? Look at the market. Market comes in. Okay, the market comes in. It acknowledges your zone. I'm sure this is 4 hour. I'm sure if we go down to the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, you'll see a low time frame break of structure. You can see how price is acknowledging that area, and then what does it do? It just runs right through it. So in this situation, you're telling me that trend line traders are going to be more profitable than smart money traders because the order block didn't work, and there's an order block there. There's definitely an order block or an imbalance. It's supposed to be there, so it's going to be there. And if we look closer, we can see this little 4 hour candle right here, this little zone that broke structure. So who is to win on this scenario? Who wins? Who has the superior strategy? The trend line guy or the smart money guy who got screwed? You see, guys, everything is designed to win and to lose sometimes. That's how it goes. If you ever want to gain consistency, you got to avoid strategy. That's it. You want to gain consistency, avoid strategy, and stay away from following the rules because everybody knows what you're doing. It's no secret. Okay, so again, just a little tip again from the dark side here. How do we trade? We trade raw price action. I trade the anatomy and the full understanding of what's taking place in every single one of these candles. When my week begins, it never ever begins like this. I've never posted a shot for our team or anybody like this where we say, all right, guys, we got an order block coming up, getting ready to sell this zone. You should not have a clue or even an idea of selling anything because how the hell do you know what's going to happen when it gets there? This is a whole other story in itself. Forget about this gambling area. There's a whole other story going on in itself. This is gambling. This is just us waiting and seeing the reaction and getting in the market and then hoping and praying that it works out. You can't get consistent like that. You can't. The only option you have is to bend the rules and make smart money work for you, make retail trading work for you, or you could put in the work and actually understand price action, understand daily cycles, understand manipulation, understand the frustration, understand the emotion that goes into the market because that's all it is. It's fear and it's greed. That's all the market is. Fear and greed, the creation and collection of liquidity. That's it. No strategy can outsmart that. It shouldn't, and that's actually a good thing because that means that the market will always be available and it'll always be there for us to make money for those who choose to think deeper. So again, just a little something from the dark side here. I always encourage everybody, don't listen to what we say. Look left. Everything's right here. Not trying to sell you anything. Just look left. And I hope you can take this for what it's worth. So we'll talk to you soon. Take care.